Yo yo yo, bienvenue dans Jamzlecast, ton podcast préféré mon gars. Et je suis avec un invité prestigieux aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment très important de le souligner. On est avec le chorégraphe de la production Castor et Pollux à l'Opera Garnier, Mr. Carl Hunt. How are you, bro?
Chilling, bro. How you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm really happy.
We back again.
We back again. So we had
Back
to do a
again for y'all.
retake because we wanted to talk more and we wanted to share you more about some details about what really happening in the opera. How do you guys feel about it? How we construct these processes together with the team, and also speaking up about what you're doing outside of the opera, because this is what we are here for. We are here to speak about your heart. We are here to speak about your career, your objective, your ambition, and we're here to talk about all of this. So be ready to the discussion. Carl Hunt, I want you first to present yourself. Who are you? Where are you coming from? And why we are here for.
Cool. So, yeah, I'm Cal, like you know. I'm from Brooklyn. I've been doing a style called flexing, Flexn. It's a style I was born in Brooklyn, and I did a show here in La Villette 2018, like I
Yeah.
was telling you. And after that, the year after, I did the first opera. We did it together.
Yeah.
And back out here now with one of my mentors, Peter Sellers. Give it up for Peter.
Yee,
My boy
Peter.
And he originally told me about this opera when we was in Brazil, and he was like, "Yo, I want to do another opera," you know. Then last year he was like, "Let's put a team together," and then I called you, I called Ablai, I called a bunch of people, and yeah, we've been here for like what, 3 months? December?
Yeah, I think 3
Well,
months
like
now.
two and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
December, January, February, and we're about to be done. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm out here doing the project, teaching people about flexing a little bit, and yeah, living my Parisian life.
We're gonna start talking about Paris. Paris is being a big city for you, as I can understand and as I know for myself, and that's what I want to share with people. It's not your first time going on in Paris, and not only for the opera. But what was the other occasion that you had to present yourself in Paris to actually do your stuff?
um, I did Battle Art Cynic. It's a competition. I did that. Um, it was a 2v2 competition. I did it. Me and Link. We were partners for that. Shout out to my boy Link.
Link,
And we got to the
crazy artist.
top four. I still got money, you know, even though we didn't win the whole competition, but I still got money out there. And also coming out here teaching people the style, flexing, you know, hosting like little labs and, you know, trying to grow the culture out here, letting people know like the history, teaching workshops. I did a workshop in Clichy-sous-Bois. And I taught the little kids about flexing. I did a whole presentation with the screen and gave them the history and showed them like the culture, you know, what it looks like. And yeah, I've been to Fusion Concept, not to compete, just to support like my bros and stuff. And yeah, that's it. I've been back and forth a little bit.
Was it at the Atelier Médicis, the flexing workship?
Yeah. Atelier
During
Médicis.
the opera Les Indes Galantes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Les Indes Galantes is a crazy production that we have been on. That's where I actually met you for the first time, and like what I want to know like the input about like how you see flexing actually getting into those scenes. I pretty much not the first time yet. No.
Les Anglais is the first opera that flexing has ever
Okay.
been a part of.
Yeah, so it's the
yeah.
first time. That's crazy. So for the first time, we have flexing in the Opera of Paris, which is Bastille for the first one, and now we have Castor and Pollux. Now that we have done, we can say now that we have done. When you guys gonna see it, from 2024 to 2025. Like, how do you see the evolution first of flexing in the big scene, which is such of the Opera of Paris, and also in the underground form from Brooklyn, Paris, all around the world? How do you see flexing evolving in general?
For me, it's like sometimes you have to go back to go forward. The style of flexing, it started on a stage, not just a battle. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't just battling. You know, so being on a stage at the opera is like bringing it back to the origin. So now the new generation that come in, they're gonna be able to see the style in a performance way, which was the original way, but they still get to see like the raw form and see us battle on stage, so they get to see the whole thing. I think it evolves um, first in the mind, like you think about how you want to show a crowd how you dance versus how you want to show a ring or an arena. You know? So I think it helps for better artistry, and it makes a dancer dig deeper into who they want to be on the stage, off the stage as an artist. You know, when they interact with people. So it's a lot. It makes it it's maturity with the culture. It makes you level up. You know.
That's crazy.
You probably feel the same way for Crump. Too.
Yes, it's the same thing for Crump. I mean, for myself, what I see in the perspective is like, yeah, is how Crump, because Trump has a different story when it comes to big scene over there, but it's still like something all the time like that is prestigious, but it's also like a good recognition from the evolving plan that we have like coming from years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like a logical next moves that's happening, and also still an opportunity because we don't see in general Crump in such a big scene like that.
Yeah.
So for me, when I see flexing evolving, I'm really happy because I can see also like the first time Crump getting in those first scene and the excitement about it, and I don't know how does it feel for the flexing community, how they see it. They really see it as an excitement. I'm really curious about that.
Only some, because some of them they only understand battle. They don't know the performance side, and they're younger. So when you see only 1v1 battle, me versus you, and that's all you understand, something new is not as exciting. But the older generation, like the older guys that speak to me about this whole project, they always tell me like, yo, it's crazy that you're doing this, congratulations bro, because you're doing something big. But they come from the older era when it was a stage, you know, when it was teams, you know, it was a big performance, so they understand it more. And like when I go back to New York, I'm basically helping the older gen and the new gen understand each other, because it's like a little bit of a gap. So now it's like it creates an opportunity, you know, to educate, but also to build excitement so they could perform and be on bigger stages, you know. Because sometimes we only battle in like community centers or like, you know, stuff like that. So a bigger stage, sometimes they don't understand how big it is. You know? So
that's crazy.
It's just teaching them about it. Yeah.
And about like, you tell me that you really try to get the new generation to really like evolve into this community of flexing. And me, I want to know, like, it's like a question that I always give to myself, is it like a build up on process, like I'm starting with the street, so I'm starting with the battle, the lab, the session, and then I can go to the opera or stuff like that? Or how do you see it? Like, do you want to give, like, for example, as such a choreographer now, director of the company, something that we're gonna talk about, like, do you give straight opportunities to the youngsters to be such of a plan, or do you just wait a certain validation so you can get them and be like, okay, they did this stuff, that stuff, so for me they deserve to be in the opera? Is this like something that, like, something in France that we called meritocracy? It means like something that you deserve to be in that place. Do you feel like you selecting profile because they deserve, or do you think that you selecting profile because you just feel it by the heart that these people need to be in that place?
I use the heart to determine if they deserve it, you know. So it's both, two things together. So me, I can know a dancer and they have so many accolades, champion, world champion, you know, a bunch of stuff. But then when I watch them dance to express, there's no expression. It's just power, you know. It's just accolades, you know. You have a good resume, but what you do, it won't sometimes fit on a stage, you know. Some people won't be able to receive you or understand you, because it's like, you could imagine a dancer that is just giving rounds, and then they get on the opera stage, and instead of dancing to the music, they're giving a round.
Yeah.
The people in the public, they're not gonna understand that. They're
So-
gonna say, okay, that was cool, but it didn't go with what's going on, you know. So you have to. With me, I pick a dancer that can understand feeling, vibe, their maturity, and sometimes maturity in dance doesn't happen with a lot of experience. It could be a dancer that's 3 years in, but they have a passion. You know, they know how to express, they know how to give that energy, and they know how to receive it. You know, so they can get into an opportunity. But I just watch people too. Like I go to different events, I go to battles, I go to shows, and I'll find a dancer that nobody knows and tell them you have it. You have the gift, and then we'll build, we'll lab, or I'll go to an event where they're battling, and I'll see a dancer give a round that maybe everybody didn't go crazy for, but I saw something deeper, and I'll tell them like, yeah, come lab, come train, and then I'll tell them, hey, come do a show, and then at the show you see who they really are. You know?
It's crazy for me because what you say is for me really true. Me too, as a choreographer, as somebody that direct some of the project, it's hard for me to find people that can really match up a project.
Yeah.
And what you said is really like common true for me because it doesn't need to be from the ego side. It doesn't need to be from the resume side.
Yeah.
It really goes with like the people intention, and that's what I want to go with the cast of Castor and Pollux. The selection that you gave with Peter was probably more harder for you or more easy for you to actually make that choice because as I know from my concern you had a lot of profile, probably some of the best in France, in different style of dance. Like instead of just talking about the ego side and the resume side, like what else as capacity, as skills for you you're looking to require to be in that kind of job, which is Castor and Pollux.
Yeah. You have to be able to work with a group. You know, sometimes you have people that's just individualistic. You know, and that's not bad. But sometimes it doesn't work on a project where you
Yeah.
have to be with people. You know, you gotta know how to do that and do it well. You know, you can't, and it can't be an act. It has to be for real. Like you have to really be able to do that. Like we learned from the old opera. Like you know, sometimes
Yeah.
a lot of people could be together, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, it's like it
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
work sometimes. But I don't know. What I would say that's one skill, and you also have to have musicality, like learning different music, being open to expression and experimenting. You know, it's a fun process if you really lean into it. It's fun, so you got to be able to have fun too. If you just too I don't know, too rigid, too like, no, I have to do it like this. Like, no, it's not gonna work for you.
I understand, definitely I understand, and that's why I wanted to give you this question because for me it's something that happened a lot in dance and in a lot of levels. Like it can be for small project, for creation and stuff. So for me it's something really important to discuss, and also about your company because we was talking about the company work. As you know me, I'm French. You're from America. You're from Brooklyn, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're from Brooklyn, and I know like the French system is not the same to build up a company compared to the difference in United States. Me as a French guy, I rate this more hard to have a company in America. How do you see it? What does it take, like as an administration work and stuff like that? From what you heard about comparing to France, what is the difference between France and America to open your own company of dance?
I don't know too much about French companies and how they run dance, but with me, it's a nonprofit. A nonprofit company is basically we receive funding from the government, funding from board members, grant opportunities where you write a proposal and they give you the money for it. So it's several things that go into funding a company, and then it's finding the people and doing auditions and then hosting the rehearsal space and having administrative people for that and doing dance residencies to travel and you know the hotel, the flight. It's just like it's a lot of stuff sometimes. Having meetings, a lot of meetings. There's like I meet with my executive director like 10 times a month. Like we always on the phone, we always text. If a new opportunity comes, like she'll send me the proposal, I read it, I take time to think about it. I fill out what I can, and then we pick dancers to do the jobs. We discuss the rate of pay, like how much they're gonna get paid. Um, I work, like I said, I work with another director, and she's really good behind the scenes. Like she'll fight to get a higher number, so a higher rate. So I'll, like example, a company will come and say, hey, we only have $1,000 to do a little dance project or whatever the case, and she'll come to me and say, Cal, this is not a lot, but I'm gonna see if I could get more. And then she'll come back to me in 2 days. Okay, they have 3,000, and I'm like, okay, so you need people that know how to scale up
your business.
you know? Like, and I learned how to do that being a director for a company. You know, like I think before I became a director, I had an idea, but now I know the strategy of how to do that. So when I talk to younger dancers and they're in the company, I give them little tools and tips so they could do it for themselves. You know, that's where I'm at right now in Brooklyn, teaching the young dancers how to level up the business so they can level up the money.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you need both. You know, you got to level up your dance. You got to train. You have to be good with your paperwork. You have to be, you know, good with administration stuff, and you know, you have to have a good presentation of yourself. So it's a lot. Teaching dancers how to do that is probably the longest process of being a director, you know, because sometimes people learn it and sometimes people don't learn it.
This is some behind the scene that you guys can't see. It's crazy.
It's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
In the last, I'll be a director for 3 years next month. So
3
next
years
year's
you've been in
3
that
month
process,
anniversary.
yeah.
So in 3 years, we moved the company to a $200,000 company to a $500,000 company. That's just from grants and making shows that more people want to do work with us now. So we brought a lot in so that the company can keep going. And you know, it's me taking time to come with new ideas, to write out the ideas, to talk with other people to make more ideas so different companies want to keep funding us.
That's crazy. Me, I love the way you present your thing, and it's giving me like a question. Like, don't you feel like this generation is kind of blind to see like all the hard work and the process that it requires, or do you feel like it's probably a choice of life? How do you see it?
It's both. Some people are blind, like they don't know what it takes. It's not their fault. Some people know what it takes and they won't do it because they're lazy or they are too afraid to try or they get discouraged. There's a lot of reasons why people know but don't act. You know, I don't judge anybody. You know, I try to tell people like, yo, whoever you really are is gonna come out. You know, so if you want to do the work and you can, you will. If you want to do it but you are afraid to do it, it won't happen. So yeah, like with the dance, I try to motivate people like, yo, you could do it, bro. Like, if you need help, let me know. You know, we could write it together, you know, or send it to me and I'll try to make 2 paragraphs into 1 page. You know, like, it's a lot.
And as an American, like, don't you feel like it's something that we don't teach to American, how to manage like your own dance company? Because I see a lot of things probably about business, how you can create your own business, but how you create your own dance company, like something like a non-profit organization, to actually do something towards the heart is not something that I don't really hear here, especially in crump. Like, I'm really frustrated because I want the crumpers to really get in it, and I feel like it's some opportunity, depending to what artists receive, like some opportunities to really get on, but it's not something that we teach, like actually you guys teach in America. So my question is, don't you feel like one time you can be one of those guys teaching the next generation how to actually doing that?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. You know, even when we record.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would tell even dancers in France. I would tell you, I don't know if you guys have the LLC.
Yes.
So from a LLC, you take that and then you can get business credit. So it's with the business credit, you're not using your own money to fund your project. It's government funding, it's sponsor funding, and then you level up. You keep your money in your pocket, but you build business credit to fund your project, to fund the venue, to fund the payment for the dancers, to fund your own pocket, and then you make a budget, And sometimes when you make the budget, you give it to the funder or the sponsor, and then they look at what it takes to make your project from your LLC grow and get bigger. And if they like it, they'll keep funding it.
That's
So
crazy.
that's one way. There's different ways, bro. Like I know every country has their own approach, but I think if France and America are, I think they might be a little bit the same with some of the process, but it may be a little different. But in America, like you could have a LLC, Jamzy Crump, whatever,
Okay.
or Buck Titan Crump, whatever, and that's the name. Now Buck Titan, the LLC, is getting the money, and then you pay yourself from that money. So it's not like you're working for anybody. You're working for you.
That's dope. Okay, okay,
Start
okay.
your own company.
That's dope.
And now you're gonna start Buck Titan.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
Buck
start
Titan
Buck Titan Chrome. I'm gonna go to United States. I'm gonna do that. But me, I wanted to also go deeper in our subject, like to jump back in the opera. Not even jumping back from the opera, but jumping back into like a special individual that I really thank you for the blessing, also opportunity. Peter Seller,
Big Peter.
Big Peter, it's the boss.
Yeah. Peter always. I tell people like Peter is like my dad, and he goes, Cal is like my granddad. Like
Crazy.
he's crazy.
Yeah, so I met Peter Sellers because of you, because you present me this crazy man, like this man with such a beautiful heart and big heart also.
Yeah.
I want to know more about your relationship about Peter Seller and you, because as you told me and as we now speaking, you guys has been connecting from years. You has a strong relationship. Can you talk about this to us?
Yeah. Before dance became like a career, I was in the military. So
Okay.
when I was done with that, I met Peter. I still had my uniform on when I met Peter. Like the first day, I was going to rehearsal, and he was like, "Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you for your service." And I was just like, "Okay, what are we doing today?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make a dance piece. So if you want, you can change your clothes, and we're gonna start working." I was like, "All right." So I put on my t-shirt, my sweatpants, and he told me to make a dance piece about a job that I hate, that I had to do. Like that was everybody's assignment. Like make a dance piece about work that you don't like to do. And I had the uniform on.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm sick of this job.
Yeah.
So I made one about that, and I just put my language of what I experienced in the military into my presentation. So everything, like I made my bars about what was going on, and just life. And Peter saw it, and he cried because he understood, like, this is your experience. And then we just kept speaking. We made a show called Flexing, and this was 2015. We started the show, and then we started touring, and we started going overseas. And every time we were able to go overseas, I got to learn more about the world, not from the mindset of the military, but the mindset of an artist. So Peter started showing me what full-time artistry was, and it's connecting with people, is being able to express yourself as an artist on stage. And it made my dancing change, like I did some battling like at home and everything like that. I battled here and there, but when I started being able to tour and like travel the world, like more of myself became present, on the stage. So Peter was helping me with that. And it was crazy. Like I done seen people cry like after the show, everything. I'm just like, okay. And every time I would tell him like, is this normal? Like people always do that. He was like, if they feel it, yeah, you can make somebody feel something when you on stage. And I was like, okay, cool. So it was like dance therapy kind of, It was interesting. So we went to Australia first, and we started learning about like the indigenous people over there, and connecting with people like that. Iceland, France, of course. I went to Marseille first, in Paris. Brazil, Iceland. I said Iceland already, right? I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to a lot of countries. I think like 9 countries. But yeah, doing that for the last 10 years with Peter, it just made like my whole view of being a dancer change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So me, I wanted to talk about two last more things. It's about like the processes of Castor and Pollux. The processes. How you been through these processes? What was like the direction for you and Peter to guide us during this creation? Can you explain us like your way to work, how Peter worked? Because I know like I work with different choreographer and it's definitely a different way to work. Like, can you explain us like the way
Yeah.
you process it to do this?
For this one, it was really different from how me and Peter usually work. Like we usually have more time. So this we had to do a lot with a small amount of time. So that's why I didn't make routines. If I had more time, we probably would have did a lot of routine. But when you have a little bit of time and you have music that's gonna change, like Theodore,
Chief
the
orchestra.
yeah, the chief of the orchestra. A lot of the music that we did for Castor and Pollux, it was either slower or faster. So he had to change music, cut music. So months ago, like last year in the summertime, I had all the music for Castor and Pollux, and then like a month before I came to France, Peter took a lot of the music off. So I was like, okay, so the plans that I wrote out the window. All right. So the choreography I wanted to do for this song, the ideas, yeah, they had to go.
Yeah.
So I had to take the music that we had left and then build ideas off of that with you guys.
Yeah.
Because now a lot of the things I already had, they were gone.
So it's like somebody
Yeah.
that likes to work like indirect with the orchestra, with the dancers, with your
Yeah.
direction.
That creation for Castor and Pollux, it requires cooperation with the director, Peter, the choreographer, me, and the chief of the orchestra, because our ideas together helps everybody else, especially the dancers, create things from inspiration. And that's why I told the opera, and you have to label the dancers choreographers too, because I'm not making routines for them.
Yeah, yeah.
They're putting their freestyle around the concept. So like the concept that you have when you're on the couch with Pollux.
Yeah, Pollux, yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing everything. That idea came really late, but it was your idea, so you have to be labeled the choreographer. So exchanging your idea with the concept with Peter, with the music that's new that we have to learn and everything else like that. It's a quick process. Sometimes it could be frustrating, but if you're creative and you want to lean into a process like that, you can make it work. So it's just having the right mindset for it, and going forward, trying it, seeing what you like. But also, when you have great dancers like Jamzy, it's not hard. You make it
Yes.
happen.
And me, I want to know like you certainly now need like creative profile that can actually create, that have like a lot of force of propositions, is what you really aim for that type of work. Yeah. Yeah. So me personally, as an experience as a dancer, I really love the way we create things every way. Like sometimes it can be frustrating because you don't understand things, but when you understand it and you start clicking on, it's a lot of fun. Especially when if you somebody like me, I love this personally. I love to freestyle, I love to create. I just love to dance,
To vibe.
So to vibe. So I know like for certain provider, I know like if you don't give them like certain direction, they just completely goes off like with their mind, with their brain, because they don't know to actually jump. They don't know to jump left or right. So they be confusing. So yeah, it's crazy, but like Cyborg told me after the premiere, it's something that we need as a collective to do more type of piece like that. And it's really important. And as I really speak up for French choreographer, like for me, you can't okay, for me you can't like you can't work a certain way, you know what I mean? So you need some time to be really special, you know.
They
So
gotta be organic.
how do you see like as a processes like of like connecting with dancers and tell them to like give some direction? Are you like, simple more question, are you somebody that like works to set up like an idea, or to let your creative profile really creating together all these tools and all these elements that you, Theodore, Peter have set up?
It depends on the project,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like me, because I'm a dancer that I freestyle, but also like I have memory of movement, you know, so I move a certain way. When I create, like for Castor and Pollux, you know, we working collectively to make those things happen. So us three, Peter, me, Theodore, our ideas, we give it to the dancers so the dancers could carry it out and complete it. It's like an objective, you know, or a theme. So
Yeah.
we follow the theme. But I've done projects where, you know, I was home thinking about the whole idea and the music and the setting and everything, and then I came and gave it to the dancers and said, okay, we're gonna do this. But for this project, it's collective ideas. You know, we put it all together to make it, you know, kind of work together. It's like a machine. You know? You got different parts, but when you put it all together, it makes something.
That's crazy.
I like both. Both are challenging. You know, both have their ups and downs, but with the right people, like I said, we make it happen.
Yeah. So me, I want to know now about the show. Let's talk about a little bit about the shows. So we have now, from what you guys seen, we have done the Castor and Pollux, and we were really thankful about this experience. But for the people to, they make me this question like every night. How do we feel on the stage doing Castor and Pollux? Me, I know how I feel, but you, how do you feel as a choreographer? Because you choreograph, but sometimes you interact into this piece. What do you see? Because I know you moving, you going to watch in the public, and then you're coming back as a dancer. Like, I want you to share this experience. Like, it is something new compared to Les Galantes. So, how do you feel it?
For me, it's incredible to be able to watch the dancers shine. You know, that's why I go to the public and I sit down so I can listen to the people in real time. Go, oh wow, oh wow, and then they talk with each other. You know, the things that are funny, they laugh. The things that are serious, they go, oh no, like you could hear them. If you sit in the public, you hear the people react. It's real, you know. It's not like they're in the show like this, like judging everything. It's like this show, I probably heard the most reaction and real life things. And then when I go on stage and I get to dance with all of you and dance myself, I get to be a part of it. So it's like, it's a good feeling. It gives me like energy and it gives me motivation to keep making projects like this, you know, where the public is gonna feel, but the dancers are feeling too. So it's like it's an exchange of energy. It's not like, it's not just entertainment. It's bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. What do you see as the future of Castor and Pollux? Can we have a future?
There's already a future. Castor and Pollux is not done. But what's next? We'll talk about it on the next interview.
Yeah. Let's see, maybe.
There'll be more stuff going on for real. Peter's looking at other opportunities right now. So yeah,
let's go.
Just keep your email open. And
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see, probably when you're gonna see it, you're gonna see probably a street maybe next year, maybe next month. But we're really thankful. Also, me, I personally speak for myself. Also, like we are thankful, and I am thankful to be a part of that project. I'm thankful to you for inviting me to that kind of project, and as a dancer, choreographer, director now, how do you see your future?
The projects that I have in my head that I haven't even written down yet are crazy, but I have a lot of stuff that I already have written up for video, for performance, for stage, for film, and I just see that type of vibe of feeling, expression, great music, great dancers. I feel like that's gonna be the next level of creativity. So the next 5 years is gonna help the next 10 years. So when I'm 34, I'll be 34 in June. When I'm 44, I'll tell you, wow, yeah, 10 years was crazy. So
let's go.
10 years ago I met Peter. So 10 years from now, yeah.
So what about the next 10 years?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Let's go. What do
More
you
travel.
wish for American dancer that listening to you into this podcast? What do you have to tell them if they want to reach their goal, if they want to reach the fact? Because I know it's not like all the American that going to move for France for like 3 months and doing all of that. But I want you to share to them what what they have to do, what they have to actually process to go through, and maybe one day have this type of opportunity to go to France for doing all of that.
You gotta stop listening to your friends. Your friends don't know. They act like they know because they got a lot of, like I said, accolades. You know, they could be like a champion or a great battler or a OG. But in my city, in my culture, a lot of people never left New York, so they don't know what's out there, or they haven't left America yet, so they don't know what's out there. I would tell people, don't listen to your friends. Listen to yourself. Travel, travel, travel. See what the world is like. Try different music. Try new things. Record your projects. Build your resume. You know, treat yourself serious. Because if you're serious about yourself, the world will take you serious. You gotta be serious about you first. Because if you're not, if you think that you're a game, the world will play you like a game. So don't play with yourself, because everyone else will be like, oh yeah, we could just do whatever with them. No, take your culture serious, take yourself serious, and yeah, get out of New York anytime you can, especially if you're from New York. If you're from my city, leave New York as much as you can so you can come back to New York and do bigger things.
That's crazy. I want to thank you, Carl, really, for your
My
time.
dogs.
You already know, my bro. We are here. So if you haven't seen the Castor and Pollux, you have a last chance. In very few days, the VOD is gonna be off of the opera play. And maybe when you're gonna see, it's gonna be definitely off. But you can see,
Yeah.
you can still see if it comes on time the last moment of the opera play. You can also rewatch it. You can buy it and go watch the show. If you haven't seen the show and you have the occasion, you are still the 19th and the 23rd. We are now at the 10 representation. We're going to the 11 now.
Yep.
So we're recording this at this moment. So at this moment, if you are in our timeline, please go to watch the show because it's completely epic. Me, I'm a thank you to have you again, Carl, in this podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm really happy to share that with you, all this precious information. I'm gonna see you in the internet, guys. Please follow and subscribe. Carl created on Instagram, Jamzlebruit on Instagram, Jamzlebruit in YouTube for the podcast. For the long version, you're gonna see some extra. Like, don't be lazy. Jump into that YouTube. Go watch the full thing because it's really crazy. All right, guys, we out. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next episode. Peace.